like it really wasn't many, black tattoo artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Out it was few and far in between. So
What's up, everybody? Crew 704. Yet again, another episode at the Producer's Kitchen. Yeah, it's been really momentum going on where a lot of guests are coming on and showing love and performing as well. But I have a special guest today, and he is one of the unique DJs that I know. He's well crafted in DJ and also in the arts as well. So I would like to introduce my good friend, DJ Man at Arms.
word. How's everybody? What's
What's
going
going
on
on,
with you,
bro? How
brother?
you been up to?
Been chilling. You know what I mean? Just navigating through this game called life.
Ah,
You
man,
know,
tell me about
trying to get it in.
it.
But thanks for having me.
No. Thank you for coming through. I know
That's
with
what's
your
up.
busy schedule and all stuff like that,
Word.
But I wanted to know, as a DJ, what brought you to become a DJ? What inspired you, as I say?
Just hip hop in general.
Mm.
That's something that, for me, coming up in the game, I always wanted to be a DJ when I was younger.
Oh,
I just couldn't afford the
really?
equipment. Yeah. So like I had friends that had like they techniques. I used to go to their house. They let me play
Mm.
around with it a little bit.
Hmm.
Back in the day though. But like I've always one way or the other. I used to write when like I was younger, like in high school, younger than that. Um, it's kind of really getting into the game like that. And then a little bit later, I started producing and doing beats. But dabbled into DJing a little bit, off and on. But then more recently, um, probably what like right before the pandemic,
Right.
that's when I really started like
Right.
getting my equipment and really just, zoning in, and shout out to my homie Claude for really, tutoring me, you know, and
Yeah.
helping me out and, honing the craft. So
I bet.
yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
man, I appreciate it. It seems like that's like the main story for a lot of DJs where
yeah.
a lot of the equipment wasn't very available. So it's always like you guys Frankenstein the equipment.
Yeah. I mean, like definitely if I could have afforded it, back then,
Hmm.
I mean, when I was younger,
Yeah.
I definitely, because I mean, I've always been fascinated, with the art of DJing and
Mm.
always followed like, the culture closely, just all aspects of hip hop from, graffiti to, rapping, to DJing,
Wow.
so. Try to break dance when I was younger. I wasn't good at it though. So yeah, I sucked at it. But every other aspect, I was in it pretty hard.
So as I'm doing my research and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and I've seen your work on Instagram and stuff like that, I know you're a tattoo artist.
Yes.
Now, that is something that I've always wanted to do, but I couldn't do it because I guess I don't know. I didn't have the patience and the hand skills and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And it's crazy because like initially, so I started my apprenticeship back in '94 under a gentleman named Eddie Williams,
Okay.
out in Lumberton. Because I went to high school, down, here down south. I'm from Jersey, Jersey
Right.
City originally. But I went to high school down in Scotland County,
Oh wow,
and yeah, the country.
that's country.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, like country. But met Eddie Williams there. He worked next to the comic book shop, and me and one of my homeboys used to go to the comic book spot,
Right.
get books there. Weird story though. I initially met him. He was a volunteer, uh, like paramedic,
Okay.
at the time.
Right.
And I was working a security job, and I was like 18.
Really?
Yeah, working a security job at the hospital. Like how
Okay.
I got hired.
That's
Yeah,
not a bad gift for 18-year-old.
Yeah, so I mean, looking back on it, I was like, damn, I was young.
Yeah, man.
Working at. But yeah, so met him. I guess I should have been securing, but I was sketching.
Okay.
And he kind of seen it, and he was just like, yeah, that's when he brought like tattooing to me. But back
Okay.
then, it really wasn't big.
Right. Right.
You didn't really see a lot of people like with tattoos.
No.
Back then, and got with him. Um, he kind of low key showed me the ropes. I didn't really even want to do tattooing because it was just. It's like, what am I going to do with this? I wanted to be like a comic book artist
Right.
back then, or do something, in the rap game.
Right.
That was kind of like my dreams, and
Right.
then um, got into it a little bit, and then I went into the military. So
Oh,
yeah, so I
okay.
kind of took a hiatus from it a little bit. Like I kind of dabbled in it. I went back to Fort Bragg, and
Really?
yeah, that's where I was stationed at, and his
Oh,
shop was like not far from where I was stationed at. So every now and then I would bring like soldiers there.
yeah, tattoos and stuff.
Yeah, like I would work on them at his shop or whatever, but like nothing too often too serious.
Okay.
Yeah, so but when I got out,
Hmm.
that's when one of the other guys he apprenticed had his own shop,
Okay.
and that's when he kind of like pulled me into the game, and I just got addicted to it. But
Really?
yeah, but
Is it like you get like a rush when you do art on someone and stuff like that?
that and then like I'm just competitive. You
Okay.
know what I mean? So it was just kind of one of those things too,
Mm.
to where like I kind of got engulfed. So it was more so like it became a thing of just like something to prove.
Oh, that's good though,
Uh,
man.
you know, because one of the things too, like at the time,
Hmm.
I was like the only black tattoo artist like in that whole county,
Really?
in Cumberland County at the time. He had his shop in Hope Mills, and around like the early 2000s and
Hmm.
before, like it really wasn't many, black tattoo artists.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Out, it was
Right.
few and far in between. So
Wow.
kind of had to basically kick into space.
What is it, a challenge? Being the only
Yeah,
black tattoo artist
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
county.
Always, always. Then because it's like not even so, it's low key. You kind of got to prove
Right.
because it was always this stigma of just like oh, all right, he's here, but the work may not be.
This, yeah, what I want, kind of
Yeah,
like, yeah.
like they would go to the other artists there, and they would trust in them even though they work. They
Mm,
don't look at theirs, but they need to see proof of what I'm doing.
really?
Yeah, so
Wow.
and that don't even necessarily would come from like other people. White. It would be from my own sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so everybody was just looking. So I had to work harder.
Really?
Yeah, you know what I
To
mean, to
prove
kind of
yourself,
to prove and try to come and prove to myself like again
Okay.
I'm just I'm trying to not only outdo myself but outdo the next person,
Really?
to try to and that's with everything, even like
Hmm.
with DJing. It's just like I'm trying
Hmm.
to work at I know what type of DJ I would like to be. Like
Hmm.
there's a standard, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to
So
work on that.
more focused and stuff like that.
Try to be,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what would you lean on towards? Like if you say, all right, if you had a decision to do, would you tattoo or would you DJ? What would you focus more and strengths?
um at this point, because I've been tattooing over 20 something years now,
Oh
like
wow.
yeah, and DJing is kind of like now I'm circling back
Okay.
musically, you know
Okay.
what I mean, into it. um Probably a little more DJing. I mean, tattooing is I'm so embedded into it.
But
Like
that's
I've,
an
I've
art.
never,
That's that's
yeah,
that's that's an art, man.
yeah, that's something like now, like I don't think I could ever like stop doing it unless I go blind or
Right.
something happens with,
Right. Right.
God forbid. But
Yeah.
but music, like I've so like at one point I was really like hard in producing
Hmm.
and doing beats and
Yeah.
all, but I never really did anything. I was one of the ones that would do like a bunch of beats, but then kind of be shy about putting them out, so they just sit.
Yeah.
Some of them still sitting,
Right.
and then I just stopped and just like engulfed myself into tattooing,
Okay.
like a lot, and then
Wow.
got into the game. It's kind of how,
It's
yeah,
amazing to know that, that I mean, as being a DJ, that there are
mm,
other facets of the person that
mm,
does other things
yeah,
besides just playing music and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah,
As tattooing is such an art that I don't think it'll be ever be a dead art because it's something that it's
yeah,
always someone always wants something,
yeah.
and it's amazing.
And it's evolved over the years. Like I've been in it long enough to where when I first got into it, like
Mm,
you couldn't even find equipment. You know what I mean? You
right.
had to go through certain companies, to
Mm,
find it. You know what I mean? Or you almost kind of had to be like grandfathered in from
right.
like the shop that you in,
Right.
to order. Which I mean, I think that's how it still should be.
Yeah.
But now kids can order stuff from Amazon now. They get equipment
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
needles and anything like that. They can do it from home, and which is not good. You know what I mean? It's still a
Yeah.
level of training
Right.
to it, but it's changed up so much.
Yeah.
Now to where
Wow.
You know,
But it's still like there's still a process to
it's supposed to be a process. You know what I mean?
it's supposed to
I
be.
think yeah, it's supposed to be. It's
Wow.
I think over time, you know what I mean. I guess what they call the gatekeepers really
Okay.
didn't properly gatekeep. You know what I mean? You
Oh.
know, so now you got like some of the. I mean, you know, with the younger kids, they just
Yeah.
like if they feel like you tell them no,
You're
well, I'm
gonna
gonna
do
go
it.
ahead and do it
Yeah.
anyway. I'm
Anyway.
gonna go to YouTube and learn how to do it and
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that, and and I
Yeah.
get a bunch of inboxes of people. It's like, yeah, well, I've been tattooing for 3 years, and here's my work. But I want to do this, and then they want to just learn just enough to be like, okay, thank you.
Then you're good. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, which that ain't the way to do it.
Wow.
It's steps. It
It's
took
more in depth, right?
it's more in depth this time.
Yeah.
There's just going there's things and aspects of it that like you just can't learn within a week,
Mm.
2 weeks, a month. You need experience. There's different types of
Right. Right.
skin types. You know what
Got
I'm
you.
saying?
Yeah.
Different. With ethnic.
Ethnicities and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, that was proper. You said it
Yeah.
right.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It's
Yeah.
different. Pigmentations and stuff like that, and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Just knowing stuff by watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even younger when I was younger when I got a tattoo,
Yeah.
some people would do it from like you said, some people would do it from home,
Yeah.
and they would have a whole shop at home and
Yeah.
whatnot, not knowing that that's kind of dangerous
Yeah.
because there's no liability or no accountability.
Yeah. And then honestly, like even back in the day, you know what I mean? Like the regulations have changed. 'Cause you look at some of them. Like I know old school artists that was like they weren't even using gloves, man. Like,
Wow.
yeah, the white people. Oh
Really?
no, they I know this one guy, he had like a bucket with a sponge. He said, and they would just use that, right? Yeah, that's why cats was catching
What?
hepatitis. Yeah, and he
Really?
would wipe them down with the sponge, but he was like a old
Really?
school,
Old
like
school.
yeah, like Sailor Jerry,
Gee.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then when they did start wearing gloves, like grabbing
Mm.
bottles with bloody gloves, cross contamination, like
Yeah.
craziness, man. Like,
Wow.
yeah, so it's came up a lot to where it's like, yeah, you
Man.
gotta,
So
yeah.
do you feel you evolved from what you learned back in the 90s until now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, that just because of some of the shops that I worked in.
Okay.
I learned what to do and what not to do.
All right.
I've had people that work with them like, nah, that ain't it. And then I've seen some people that like they setup was proper.
Really?
It's like this is what it needs to be,
Mhm.
and work in conventions too.
Right.
Because then, like when you put yourself out there, you really see people that's like outside of your comfort zone.
Right. Right.
That's really doing it, and it's like, okay, so this is how they work.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and I think
wow.
that's one of the things a lot of people, with anything, like with tattooing, with DJing,
Yeah.
you got to really immerse yourself or put yourself around people that's
Yeah.
really, killing it,
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, okay, so this is, what they doing. I need to work on this.
Wow.
You got to have that sense of fear or
Yeah.
intimidation to just be like, man, I got to get in the lab and I got to
Man.
work. Yeah, you gotta have
Wow.
that. Gotta have that bar.
Shoot. Wow. So
Yeah.
I've seen you. I mean, we talk at times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I seen you on Instagram. That I mean, learning from a DJ, and then doing stuff like Paid in Full. You're doing
Yeah.
the coffee shops. You're doing other parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To learning how to be a tattoo artist till now. As a tattoo artist, have you done anything different? Or have you done anyone initially, like anyone famous or anything like that, as you grew as an artist?
I mean, there's a few people, some athletes. I guess now, like I got my homeboy Brian Battle. Shout out to Brian. He's low, but I've like with him, I've known him since he started training.
Right.
So he's probably the epitome of just like sticking to your goals and your dreams and working hard. Like I literally seen this guy. Like when he started, now he's in the UFC.
Okay.
On a win streak.
Wow.
Killing the game, and I just so happened to reap the benefits. He comes through and gets tattooed by me.
Okay.
Shows love, and I appreciate that because he can go to anybody.
Yeah.
Famous, you know what I mean, and he
trusts
chose
you, I
me.
guess.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
trusts
and he
you.
trusts me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
so
trusts
I appreciate that. But yeah, few people that from college, people that in the pros.
Right.
I've met people, in passing.
Right.
Didn't necessarily tattoo what came to the shop
Hmm.
or so yeah, it's
Really.
yeah,
Find any challenges, while doing tattooing and stuff like that? What are your challenges?
challenges in regards to like the people or
No,
just in
just art,
general.
all the art altogether.
Um, just people are different personalities.
Hmm.
That's really it. Um, you never know what space a person's going to be in when they
Right.
come in. What mood,
Hmm.
you know. Just that, just different people, different personalities.
Wow.
That's usually, but that's the
Yeah.
fun part.
Hmm.
Because you get people sometimes they'll get tattooed, they don't even be anything, you know. Um,
Nothing crazy and stuff like that.
yeah, well, nothing. It's some. I mean, because I think a lot of times some people was like, yeah, all tattoos got to tell a story. Sometimes it don't for 'em.
Mm,
Sometimes people will get it just for therapy, like they just
really?
need somebody to talk to. Because we're kind of there, we get in the chair
Yeah.
and they start telling us stuff that's just like, oh,
Really?
should y'all be sharing this? You know what I mean? Yeah, But that's part of the process.
Really?
You really get to know these people. Some of these, people. I mean, you're putting a piece of yourself
Right.
on a person. It's not like anything else,
Hmm.
and that's why like that's been a thing lately, as far as like people with pricing,
Right.
and
Right. Right.
things like that, or even just people getting stuff out of the house, like they just get anything on them.
Really?
And yeah, you see like you see even young ladies now getting stuff on their face, and
Yeah, I seen that. I seen a lot. Yeah, a lot of
yeah, a
people
lot of
getting that
that.
done in their face.
Yeah, it's
It's like,
the game has
that's
changed up a lot.
really.
Yeah, it has.
My
I
goodness.
I mean, I don't agree with it, but I
Hmm.
mean, you're of age. What are you gonna do?
It is what it is, right?
Yeah, it's just that. I mean, that's something you're gonna have to face when you get older.
Oh, wow.
But I just see things evolve over the years, and it's
Right.
just like, all right, if we in this space now, what is it gonna be like
Mm,
5 years from now,
mm,
not 2 years from now? Things
wow.
go, yeah, trends go so quick, and
Man.
it's crazy. Yeah,
So
but
what would you say would be the weirdest tattoo you ever
mm, I don't know if I can say it on this podcast. It's been some
done?
yeah, it's I've been in some weird, yeah,
I
nothing
believe.
that nothing too but yeah,
It's
it's
weird, huh?
weird request. Um yeah, it's
Oh my
20 years.
goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've seen a lot of things.
yeah, you'd be surprised.
But you
You'd be
still don't
surprised.
let go of being a DJ though. That's one thing you still
What's that?
that's your therapy, I guess, being a DJ.
DJ, yeah. And it's new.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like or newer.
nor.
Like now, I mean, time fly by so fast. It's been a couple of years into it now,
Right.
and then just working at it
Hmm.
for the most part. You know, and I think what helped me out with DJing too is that like, cause I've always like I'll tattoo and I'll play music the
Oh,
whole time. Yeah, like music never stopped.
yeah.
In my shop. Like I can't tattoo without music.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
so yeah, but that's how much I'm in. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like
You're in your groove, yeah.
yeah, like and the thing that I bring to DJing is just like my catalog up here
Got you.
of like the knowledge of music that I just because I was one of them guys like when a new album drop, I'm at the record store immediately. You know what I
Man,
mean? Like
don't
I
we miss
lived at
those
the
things?
record store.
Don't we miss those things, man? Miss them getting
Man.
records and going to the record
Somebody
store.
was talking about they talking about doing a little pop up record shop like actually like I was
Really?
talking to or they want to so wish they had that transpire but yeah I've talked to a couple of
I mean,
people that said they
I
might
drove around the city once in a while, and I
yeah
see there's like little mini record stores and stuff like that.
man they need
Sometimes I'll
that
pick something up,
yeah
and then I'll look at it and I'm like, man, when I was younger, I couldn't even afford this. Now
mm,
it's like chum change.
yeah that and then people I think vinyl starting to make a comeback.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
As
it
it
is.
should. I've even seen it now. What's my man? 38 Special. He's
Okay.
doing a special release of his album on
Mm,
cassette,
mm.
which is crazy. Like I think everybody's getting back to like tangible.
Tangible. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? To
Yeah.
where you can have like a CD or a tape,
Yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean? Which I think is, it's nostalgic.
I think it is. I think it is still nostalgic and stuff like
Yeah.
that should be coming back
It
around.
should. It should. Something with some worth, with some meaning. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean,
To it. Like everything can't be digital.
no,
You know what
no,
I
no,
mean?
no, no,
And then,
no.
kind of should bring the big radios, man.
Yeah, the
My
boom
dad,
boxes and stuff.
man. Listen, I remember, shoot, as a kid, being in Jersey, like being
Oh
with
man,
yeah,
yeah.
being with my pops and listening to WBLS, man.
Oh, the quiet. I
Marley,
used to like the Quiet Storm.
the Quiet Storm. Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
listen to Marley Marl.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
who's in control? Marley Marl in
Yeah.
control.
They
Yeah,
had DJ Red
man.
Alert. He
Red
would be.
Alert.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. Then they would have cats. Shoot, I think the one I remember, man. It was one night I was listening. I actually recorded it on tape. I lost it, but
No.
it was one. It was one night, man. It was. I don't know if you remember. The Kings of Swings.
Mm.
Nod your heads to this.
Yep.
Yeah. So it
Oh,
was
yeah.
them and Big Daddy Kane. And this was like,
Really?
yeah, around the time Big Daddy had just dropped Long Live the Kane. But it was on there freestyling.
Mm.
And that night. And,
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
it was crazy. But yeah, I love WBLS.
Yeah, those were the tunes to listen to, man. I mean, they
Mhm.
would never steer you wrong.
Yeah,
They would never
yeah.
steer you wrong.
And that's really what get me into DJing. 'Cause, you had Coco Chanel up there
Yeah.
DJing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Marley Marl in the house.
Marl, Red
Yeah.
Alert. I think Funk Flex came later.
Yeah, he came later.
Later
yeah.
on. Yeah. But
Much later.
Yeah, but I was always like I said, I was always really like just any aspect of hip hop.
Right.
I was always big, DJing like like I was on that Jazzy Jeff early. Back when the new music seminars used to happen, back in
Yeah.
there when, him and then Skills was winning it on the freestyle, him Supernatural. You had Jazzy Jeff, you had Cash Money,
Man.
you know what I'm saying?
Things have evolved, man.
Yeah.
Have evolved.
Yeah.
You worked with the vinyl before, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
evolving from vinyl to digital,
Mhm.
it's kind of like this is like kind of night and day, kind of like you said.
Basically, yeah. It's almost like like the tattoo game. You know what I mean? And I guess maybe some people watching this podcast like maybe not have a full knowledge of it, but like with tattooing, we started out with what they call the coil machines, the loud ones.
Okay.
They'd be buzzing when you come in the shop. Now it's the rotary machines, like the pens,
yeah.
which
Real
are like
quiet.
stylish now. Yeah. And those are more quiet. They cordless.
Oh,
like
wow.
yeah, so it's almost like going to the barber. The barber they
Yeah, the
had
barber
like
shop,
the
yeah.
the cords. And,
Yeah.
there was a time they ain't even have like the adjustable clippers, and
Oh,
they came
man.
out with those and the guards.
Yeah.
Now,
Mhm.
you got the special guards. They cordless. They got lights on them now.
Oh man, I see.
They
Yeah,
got
they have all
features,
kinds of stuff.
So like the game has evolved. With tattooing, like the inks have evolved. Just like with DJing now, it's like they got stems.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can.
all sorts of things.
Yeah,
now.
you can really cheat now.
Yeah. especially
You
with
can
this,
really-
especially
yeah.
with this AI going on now.
Yeah,
I mean, they really like it's getting out of hand at times.
Yeah, the DJ
know-
Pro. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I rather stick to the old school.
Yeah.
But just when I really just started like the journey of just like learning the equipment and getting into it,
Right.
and talking with Claude, I was just telling him like, yo, I really rather go anything motorized.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I gotta feel that anything
Yeah.
stationary, it just feels
Yeah.
weird to me, still does, but
Mhm.
it's still good to learn. But I rather keep that aspect of just like that
The
that
hands-on.
resistance.
Yeah. hands-on.
Yeah, to feel, that, and then it's just always a part of me that still
I hear you.
want some techniques. Like I got some standings, but I want some techniques at some point. Not the Pioneers is nice. The new
man.
the new Pioneers is nice, but I want some techniques at some point.
man.
Yeah,
Shoot.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
It's awesome, man. I mean, I'm glad you came on. I have
I
one
appreciate it.
one question to ask you.
Yes, sir.
What is your favorite group? Favorite rap group?
Dang, you asking a old head that.
That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah. Sheesh. Rap group or just rapper or
Well, you
just
could put rap group or rapper.
can I name multiple? Like, or do we just gotta go with one? Because I don't have one.
No one. All right. So
Yeah.
so give me your best three.
Best three.
Yeah.
Okay, top three. All right. It ain't the typical one that everybody throws up.
What's that?
Everybody always say, say Biggie and Pac. That's always like that. And
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just-
that's the typical.
yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
just like, I mean, shout out to that, but nah. But for me, Rakim is the god.
Okay.
Funk Doc, Redman. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? This was always one of my favorites. Oof. I know I'm gonna miss one.
It's
Yeah, it's
tough,
just so
man.
many. Yeah, because I got
It's
favorites in
tough.
different genres. Um, I would say just because he's right there. Um, hmm.
It's not an easy question, man.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, for the first two, yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I mean. Because certain rappers give me certain feelings at certain times.
Hmm.
Shoot, I would say Nas.
Nas.
I would say Nas. Yeah, yeah. Just thinking on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Live at the Barbecue came out, because that was my first introduction to Nas,
Got
which
you.
that was his first time on wax.
Right. Hmm.
And his verse was just like what?
Lyrically, he's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at 17 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and he was saying stuff on wax. I mean, people, the shock value.
Yeah.
When I was 12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. We like, wait, what? Did he
Yeah.
just say? Did he just say that?
It's just the things that they say. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
it's not, it's organic. That's just,
Mhm.
nowadays it's kind of different. And,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you share that, man. Because
Man.
I mean, knowing what I know now, but what you do
Yeah.
gives me a different look at, man, this guy's been through it.
Yeah.
He's not just a DJ; he's an artist as well, and he's
Mhm.
been through it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming through,
I
man. I
appreciate
really,
you having me. Yeah,
coming
thank you.
through the producer's kitchen, stuff like that.
Producer's Kitchen.
So then yet again, guys, another interview with, I say, the legendary DJ Man at Arms.
Oh man,
For
I
you,
appreciate it.
you can judge that.
Yeah.
Where can they find you at, though?
They can find me. What you mean online, social media?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Let me see. You can find me at at Black Light Tattoos on Instagram.
Okay.
You can find me at at Defense Tattoos on my tattoo page. Also, you can find me at DJ_Man at Arms on Instagram. I got a lot of ads on there.
A lot of ads.
Yeah, I got a lot of ads.
You got a lot of work, man.
Yeah. I'm
You got a
out
lot
there.
of work.
I'm like, man. I'm like, what's the dude from Living Color that had all of the jobs?
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, with all of the jobs. Yeah,
Mhm.
Also, you can find me at Backspins, man. Shout out to Backspins, man. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
awesome.
Definitely. For all that's watching, man, plug in. Backspins is doing good work.
Yeah,
You know what I mean with the youth and everything, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll
For
get
the
my
most
hands on
part.
Claude one day.
Yeah, right. Got to the Shogun,
The Shogun.
the Shogun
But
in the
yet
dark.
again, brother, thank you for coming out to
Thank you,
Producer's
thank you.
Kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm Crew 704. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow this guy. You
Yes.
won't go wrong. All right.
Yeah.
And as always, peace.